Mine right now is 44.1 kilohertz. I heard that.
They say hi.
No.
She says hi.
Hi.
But yeah, no, like, yeah, she just got done working out. Yeah, it's like, like I said, I'm like, maybe you can do like 15. If Ben saw me sit down and get right back up.
Yep.
etc. does like a big troop commitment up north on the Korean Peninsula, and then they can do Taiwan kind of freely. It's just something I would think about if I was a Chinese Communist Party
if you were
trying to invade Taiwan, and I thought everybody was expendable.
Didn't they like shut down the airspace over Taiwan for a couple of days?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I think they still let
we gotta
light
I
through.
I didn't see all of it, but like some of the comments that Trump was making on Tucker Carlson shit, like I told China, you don't want to do the missile, like you don't want to invade Taiwan, you don't want to go in there, okay? Because what I'll do is bad to you, and they didn't believe me, but they 10% believed me, or some shit like that. It was like funny as fuck. Maybe you could pull up clips from that, and we'll play it.
That's hilarious. I love it.
He just like shit talking. He's like,
that's the thing. You need somebody who's just a wild card, and they're like 10% believe he'd do it.
Oh, I guess I say that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know we were live yet.
Oh well, yeah. Surprise.
So, surprise, we're live because I had the stream pause. I was being, dude, I gotta edit that out now. I was being racist as hell.
That's fine. No, it's all right. It's pre-show. It doesn't count.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Shay's,
okay,
Shay's,
we're on.
Shay's probably
we're on, and I'm
happy
eating
you
peanut butter
detransitioned, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
I just needed a snack because like I'm eating dinner after the show now. So
I didn't even eat dinner. These beers are gonna hit so good. It's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, we're at 8:30, so I'm gonna just say we're live.
Word.
Fuck it, we're live.
Fuck it, we're live.
We are live, baby. Bring us in.
Oh, we got 3 watching. Well, one is me, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm in the end. I'm back. I ungender transitioned. I decided I was not happy with the service, and I had a 30-day return policy on it. So,
yep. Gotta love Incapistan.
Gotta love it, man.
I like how Discord warns me that I'm about to do at everyone to like a bunch of people. I was like, are you sure? Like, it's my fucking podcast, Discord, bitch. I can do whatever I want. If you don't like it, get the fuck out.
What the fuck do you think this Discord?
Oh, shout out to AT for normally taking care of that for me because I'm usually rushing. So he usually drops.
Speaking of Discords, and dropping stuff in the discords. Our friend and a fellow racist Discord got nabbed today by the military.
What?
That's something to talk about. The Pentagon files were done by let me go to the story. 21-year-old suspect Jack Teixeira arrested in a Pentagon leak. National Guardsman was arrested in connection with the leak of hundreds of classified documents, according to the Washington Examiner and other outlets. Teixeira was identified by the New York Times ahead of his arrest at his home in Dayton, Massachusetts, Thursday afternoon. Television footage showed personnel leading a male wearing red shorts and a green shirt with his hands cuffed behind his back. The leader of a small this is the description of him. Leader of a small online gaming chat group where a trove of classified U.S. intelligence documents leaked over the last few months is a 21-year-old member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, according to the New York Times. National Guardsman, whose name is Jack Teixeira, oversaw a private online group called Thug Shaker Central with 20 to 30 people, mostly young men and teenagers. They came together over a shared love of guns, racist online memes, and video games.
Huh.
2 U.S. officials claimed that investigators wanted to talk to Airman Teixeira about the leak of the government documents in a private online group. Anyways, yeah, the content, I've been trying to divine what the content of those documents were, and as far as I could gather, it was like logistics data about Ukraine and basically like shipment arrival times and current inventories for like Ukrainian munitions, including anti-air defense, basically stating that at current usage rates, Ukraine is going to run out of air defense in early May, so like 2 weeks from now. And once Russia opens up the air game, like people thought they would be able to, things will get really bad. Also, it had the U.S. It had the Pentagon's actual internal casualty figures for the war, which were something like over 100,000 Ukrainian dead soldiers and maybe about 20,000 Russian dead.
Oh, that's not great at all.
Yeah, and then the documents also had, I think one of the other few things was that there are special forces active in Ukraine currently. So it's only a matter of time before, another soldier dies at Fort Bragg, which is where they always say when they're on clandestine operations. But U.S. soldiers are dying in Ukraine. So great job. Go U.S. foreign policy.
Excellent.
Yay.
Yay.
I love U.S. foreign policy so much. Did you do the intro video?
Not
do
yet.
that yet?
Not yet. We should.
Not yet. Perfect. Probably should.
All right.
And then we can repeat all this stuff.
Perfect.
Just kidding. Dab it in.
Intro's on.
I was like, Max just talking. I'm like, do we even do the intro yet? Like, what's going on?
I wasn't gonna interrupt him.
True. I felt like it was a good bit. I'm sorry.
I felt like it was a good time.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Altar. Tonight we've got Matt, we've got Max, and we've got myself. I have returned from the swamps of Florida, a man again. I got my return.
Yeah, you got your return.
You went
Florida?
to a detransition camp run by Governor DeSantis.
So DeSantis himself came and sewed my penis back on. It was great, actually. He read the Bible the whole time while he was doing it.
Dude, you got... Whoa. Why would the fuck would you transition immediately to a woman and get your dick cut off? From my understanding is they keep it on.
Well,
figure it out.
It was only a couple of days, so it was still on ice. So it was just like, it was super easy. Like anything over a week, you got to do some weird shit. But
I thought they just turned it inside out.
They can, I guess. I don't know. I paid a little bit of extra, so
Okay.
Gonna get that good shit.
How does it smell? Is it a little swampy or?
It's not great right now. It's really not great. Like it's better. You're better off not knowing.
Okay. So what are we talking about tonight, sir?
So, because I didn't want to interrupt Max, we were talking about North Korea a little bit, and then we talked about Ukraine, and we were talking about classified information that had leaked on a Discord channel that's totally not like ours at all.
Yeah, totally not like ours.
At all.
Add a little bit. So now, because I think only Shay was in the chat and heard all that. So,
Good for
like,
him.
you want to repeat that, or we want to circle back to it?
Here, I can do it again,
Yeah.
just real quick. Just the abridged version.
Take it
So,
away, Incredible Autis.
21-year-old suspect Jack Teixeira arrested in Pentagon leak. The leader of a small online game chat group with a trove of classified U.S. intelligence documents leaked over the last few months is a 21-year-old member of the intelligence wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard, according to interviews and documents reviewed by the New York Times. The National Guardsman, whose name is Jack Teixeira, oversaw a private online group named Thug Shaker Central, where 20 to 30 people, mostly young men and teenagers, came together over a shared love of guns, racist online memes, and video games. Contents of the documents include that Ukraine is running rapidly out of munitions, specifically anti-air defense munitions. It included the Pentagon's internal reports on casualties, which are very severe for the Ukrainians. And they also included, what was the third thing that I was remembering that they talked about?
Probably something stupid. Don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah, something stupid. Basically, Ukraine's fucked.
Was it the casualty ratio?
Is the casualty? I mentioned the casualty ratio was bad for Ukraine. The air defense was bad. That they're running out of air defense, and that.
There are special forces.
U.S.
Yeah.
U.S. special forces are active in frontline combat in Ukraine. So great. We got a war with U.S. Special Forces fighting.
It's just like Call of Duty, bro.
Russian
it's
regulars.
Just Call of Duty.
See, I always thought, like, I got a question today that if the draft ever came back, would I go into it? I'm like, well, I'm too old for it. But if it wasn't, like, I would just dodge it, because, I mean, I'm really good at Counter-Strike, but I heard, like, first of all, the graphics in real life, I hear are phenomenal in war, right? The graphics are, like, top-notch. But I also heard there's no respawn points in real life. And I'm like, dude, if I get lag out there, I'm dead. I don't know what internet connection they got. I'm not fucking with that.
Thank you,
Fuck
FPS Doug.
All right, yeah, FPS Doug, that brings me all the way back, my man.
Boom, headshot!
What are we talking about? I always
what do you mean, man? Everybody runs faster with a knife.
Yeah, right? It's so good. No, but the whole Ukrainian thing, it's like, I thought, I've heard like 30 different occasions that it was over for Russia. That they're done. So this whole thing, they're running out of stuff. They're having issues.
The problem is the Ukrainians have adopted the military strategy of if you kill your opponents, they win. So they figure if they die instead, they'll win.
Oh, real quick from Chase in the chat, you can't frag your commanding officer if you don't show up. So that's a point to going to war. It's like,
yeah, I like that.
It's like being one of the be like a libertarian anarchist and saying like I'm gonna join the system to fight it from the inside, but not actually doing something. That is doing something.
That is direct action.
Well, let's be real. Okay, I made a Tumblr post about this, and is that Snowden, Manning, and now this guy, probably what they mean by racist memes online is probably some fucking like Ron Paul meme.
Probably.
Let's be honest. And so like I guarantee you that this kid has Ron Paul in his search history, or like Ron Paul speech, or like Federal Reserve and some shit like that. And we all know other Ron Paul enthusiasts who might be in the military. And frankly, these people, I think, are the only thing that's like putting brakes on the regime anymore. Like the regime has to rely on right wingers to like staff it, because like fundamentally, just no left wingers actually interested in a military career. And like I was mildly interested. I was actually kind of seriously interested in joining the military, and then I was like, oh man, I'm against everything that our foreign policy is doing, and the military, government, and just like killing and all this stuff. And then now that I keep looking back on it, I'm like, man, if you could just sleeper cell it for like 4 or 5 years, because Lord knows it's full of incompetent people. And if you just are mildly competent, you can become and especially if you have a college degree or like are going to college, you become an officer. Okay. This was just a guardsman. Okay. This was just some NCO, or not even an NCO. This is just some enlisted guardsman had classified documents that like completely jeopardize like the propaganda war for Ukraine. Okay. Imagine if and I'm not encouraging this because it would possibly violate the Espionage Act and be treason.
Of course, we
but
would never do that.
Imagine, if somebody was ideologically committed to Ron Paulism and anarchism, and they spent years in the military, and then they finally got really juicy stuff when it was really important, and were able to leak that to the public and completely undermine, let's say, World War III. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? That's an amazing story. Could you imagine
something like the Zimmerman telegram being like dumped into a War Thunder forum?
Like the George Zimmerman, or what's going on?
No, so the Zimmerman telegram was a telegram that Germany sent to Mexico during World War I that tried to basically, it was like, hey, if you like declare war on the United States, we'll back you financially. And the United States intercepted it and basically was like, hey, Germany, you better square the fuck up, because But yeah.
I know.
Also, Mexico was in zero condition to have a war with the United States at any point. They got wrecked in 1848, and they Pancho Villa, the Northerners, got mopped up by like a National Guard unit. Mexico's military offensive capabilities have always been basically zero. So like the idea, like what were they gonna do? Like take back Arizona and Texas or some shit like that?
That was the plan.
Oh,
they were gonna seize Arizona and destroy the American economy.
Oh, like Fonzie is like, come on, Liberty Bill, do your part.
Like, hey, I'm not naming any names.
He's doing his part of not making good pizzas.
Yeah, that's
some shit. Dude, he did it again. He fucked it up.
It's got to be intentional. I think he lives like a couple hours away. I'm gonna go drive over there and slap him in the face.
You need to get him
for pizza purposes.
You need to get
I won't dox him like that, but he and I, we went to college together.
Oh,
did you?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. No, actually, that's interesting.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't
Did
really.
you guys have like any experiences together, like gay ones?
Like involving Bud Light, perhaps?
Maybe.
There was this ROTC challenge that I saw where the guys would they would duct tape two pitchers of Bud Light into each hand and run up to so Boulder is already at 6,000 feet in elevation, and the challenge was to go PT with your duct taped beer and finish them before you reach the top of the first flat iron.
Wow. Okay.
Which is like 2 miles away, but it's like 3,000 feet of gain in elevation, and yeah. Anyways, I think I only like met him once. Just saying. I know other military libertarians much better.
They should have made
we went to the same school.
Ben the face of Bud Light.
Oh no! All right,
it'd be incredible.
I love how apparently the Bud Light top executives did not have any word about this advertising campaign.
Of course they did.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's like how do you guys?
It's like that episode of South Park when they were making fun of BP putting out like the apology commercial for the oil spill. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're so sorry. We're very sorry. It's like, no, you're not.
But in other good Colorado news, well, Anheuser-Busch has lost $6 billion in stock value. Molson Coors, hometown Golden, Colorado, has elevated stock price by $350 million.
Excellent. Capitalism wins again.
Mm-hmm. So go woke, go broke. It might be the first successful instance of conservatives boycotting something.
Well, I mean, who else drinks Bud Light? Like, let's be honest.
No, it's NASCAR fans, right?
Yeah, like if they were going to boycott Pabst Blue Ribbon, then they'd be fine because only leftists drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. If Pabst Blue Ribbon tomorrow got like canceled for being, I don't know, we need like a wheel with just like a bunch of isms in it that we can pick from.
I here's the thing, like PBR is like a hipster mainline brew.
Mm-hmm.
I know like you see it in a bunch of music venues, and maybe that's where I picked up drinking it from. But I'm not a leftist, and I know several non-leftists that like, oh, if you only have macro brews, I'll drink PBR. You know,
Listen, I'm trying to be racist against people who like PBR. So.
Tell me what's wrong with me.
Nothing's wrong with you.
You're a fucking hippie. That's what's wrong with you.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
come on. We'll be real for 2 seconds. But no, there's a place back where most of my family's at. Like, there's a burger joint and shit. They like played like fucking metal, loud as shit, and you'd be like, they have the fucking amazing burgers and beers. Like they got like a shitload of beers, but they have on the menu. It's like, oh yeah, like if you like your food, you could buy it. Like you could buy like a round of PBRs for the kitchen staff to show your appreciation. And it's like $6 or something. I'm like, how many people are working back there, or how cheap is the beer?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck is going? But it's
like PBR's like Five Guys, right? Like there's only 5 guys working at the Five Guys. So in like PBR, like what's the 6-pack these days? I mean, I guess if they're pounders, they might be like $10 or like $8 or $9.
I think PBR is like it's like an older person drink and a hippie person drink because I used to go to like like reggae shows and shit, and all those motherfuckers drinking PBR. Like not like
well, that's what I'm saying is like every music venue I go to, or like you go to the jam night at like in different places, and it's pretty much all PBR is like the go-to house drink. I used to play this open jam, and the special was a PBJ. It was a Pabst Blue Ribbon and a Jameson shot. It was $5. It was a pounder of PBR too. Good deal.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Fuck you up. Who is doing this? I think it's like you get PBR for like I don't even know, like $1. It was like $1.50 for a fucking tall boy at the bar.
Yeah.
Like
well, nowadays it's like $3. I feel like generally like it's one of the cheaper drinks, and maybe like I'm only buying it at somewhat expensive places, but like if I have to get a macro brew, I'll get PBR, and then I'll get Coors because grew up with Coors. It's basically the tap water from where I grew up. But the PBR is actually well rated among macro brews.
Every fucking hippie in the chat right now is saying that they drink PBR and they love PBR. Like Fonzie, hippie. I used to drink PBR. Maybe he's a reformed hippie. I don't know. Chase, now he's a hippie. Have you seen his hair?
Yeah.
Come on, please.
I mean, he's like Viking hippie.
Am I still like a hippie? What? I don't feel like I'm a hippie. Like
long hair, smoke weed. That's it. You're a hippie. And you're anti-war. That's all.
I don't actually smoke weed though.
I don't care. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Don't fucking lie to me. Your face. You're laughing right now like you're high. Don't even fucking don't do this to me. Come on. Oh, Miller High Life's the shit too. So Oh yeah, Fonzie's sober now. Now I gotta be. I'm the dick. I'm the dick. Like it's like I used to be PBR. Yeah, because he's not a hit me anymore. It's like I'm sober. I'm clean. I had to be because of the accident. What accident, Fonzie? I can't talk about it for legal reasons. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
What's that TikTok where it's like coming in for the job interview? Okay, I have a little oopsie whoopsie on my criminal record. And the guy's like, wait, it's not like you killed anybody. And the guy's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, I did.
I prefer. I like that meme where it's like what's the gap in your resume? It's like I signed an NDA, so I can't talk about it.
I like the
Yes.
other one. It's like a screenshot of a Tinder conversation, and the dude's like, "Have you ever been arrested?" And she goes, "Yes." And he goes, "Well, I was gonna say for being that cute, but I'm curious." And she goes, "Aggravated assault."
Ooh. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, Fonzie. 100 days today.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, good
Congratulations,
for you,
buddy.
man.
My man. Good shit.
I shouldn't be a dick, but I was about to just be like, cheers to that.
Cheers. To
I
that.
mean, yeah. I'm like I wouldn't want to like trigger anybody here. Just saying.
No, honestly, like, good for you. I love that.
For real.
You can spend a lot of money on booze, and all it is piss at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. But if you drink
That's
the piss
awesome.
afterwards, then you save money.
Yeah.
It's
Wisdom. You only get gems like
human
this.
distilled alcohol.
Absolutely.
So can we talk about
Actually,
this
you
article?
ferment it. It's Gencum, right? That's
oh
gold.
god, Gencum, that's fucking. Blake is in the chat, popped in the chat, Discord server for like the first time forever, and then you said Gencum. It's a sign, and I'm not
If you
for
say
it.
it 3 times, he will appear in one of our
Wait,
respective
He will
areas.
fucking connect to the podcast video right now, and he doesn't even have clearance to do so.
Yeah.
Be amazed.
Jenkum.
I'm missing all this. What?
It's
it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is. I just know I don't ever want to have it within 100 feet of me. I don't trust. But I wanted to talk about. I kind of read this article about the fucking Fed staff expects banking crisis to cause a recession this year.
Oh yeah.
Oh really? That's what's going to cause a recession? Just the banking crisis?
Just the banking crisis. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else at all. Wow. What are you talking about, man? Best economy ever, man. Best economic recovery ever, Jack. You can take that down to the bank, and Corn Pop will reinforce that when you touch the hairs on the legs in the pool.
Okay, Biden, much like Carter, is going to get the worst rap of presidents in history for like inflation when it's almost not his fault. Almost. Like Nixon fucked up by closing the gold window, right? And then Carter came in. Well, then there was Ford, and then there was Carter, and like it takes years for this shit to propagate through the economy. And same with Biden, like all the 0% interest rates basically since 2008, right? Like that's when the Fed funds rate went down to like 0 to 0.25%. And we've had that for literally 12, 13 years, a decade of 0% federal free money, basically. And it was under Bush, it was under Obama, it was under Trump. Mm-hmm. And then Biden, like 2 years in, like finally the bills come and due. You know, it almost makes you feel bad for him.
You just need more quantitative easing, bro. Quantitative easing. That's all you need.
That's all you
fix
need.
Everything.
Just print more money and that's it. Oh, so speaking of bills being due, so a lot of people who, like, through the COVID emergency didn't have to, say, pay back their student loans are going to have to start doing that this year if that court case doesn't go in the favor of the Biden administration, which it probably won't, to be quite honest.
But how funny would it be if it did?
I mean, I would lose $8,000.
I'm sorry, repeat what court case?
You would, back up. You would lose how much debt?
So I have like $8,000 in student debt. Like
I thought you said 80, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Fuck that! Absolutely not. No, I went to an online school a couple years ago for like a year and a half, and like it didn't work. So like that's like it. So I actually applied for the debt relief
I
because
was like, wait, what? I was like, whoa, I didn't know you went to school for anything. Or
it was
whatever.
years ago. Like I've mentioned it before. Like I got my associates in criminal justice, and then I tried to finish my bachelor's, and then like didn't quite.
Oh, you're gonna be a fucking cop.
Yeah, I
Get the
was,
fuck
and then I
outta
was
here.
like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Good for you.
Exactly.
Oh, because like New York wants you to have a degree for being a cop.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But
no, you should come be a cop out west. Just
I don't
fucking.
want to be a cop. Fuck that.
Well, okay, yeah, you're already out west. Does fucking I don't think Colorado or Wyoming. I don't know about like Arizona, New Mexico, or Utah, or whatever. Like, do you know your parts? Do they require a college degree to become a?
I
cop?
have no idea, but like I don't. I'm perfectly fine not being a cop. I make more.
No,
money
it's
being a cop.
totally fine. I mean, but honestly, it's kind of a sweet gig, right? Like, especially like if you were to do like highway patrol, and just be like, I help people fix flat tires and ignore most people speeding unless I need to meet a quota.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good gig.
It depends on where you're at if it's a sweet gig. Because I think around here, like salary wise, like it's a sweet gig depending like on the salary. The salary is the biggest like thing to that. Because around here, I think starting as a cop is like 40, and it takes you forever to get to like 60 or 70,000. My brother, well, I mean, smaller towns and shit, whatever. My brother, his starting, he's making like 110,000, somewhere around there.
You need to work county or state.
Yeah.
When it comes to police work, the cities usually, unless it's like a big city, like I know when I was living in Boulder, I saw the application out and was like, you start at like 65 or 70.
That being said, you don't want to be a cop in a big city.
Well, no, Boulder's pretty bougie. The worst thing you have to do day to day as a cop in Boulder is tell homeless people to pee somewhere else.
That's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not really so bad. But or occasionally a dude shows up to the grocery store with a pistol or AR, and you get murked by him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like the one guy.
Yeah, but the like other places around the West, like yeah, it's still like 60K or something like that, and there's like no. I mean, you just gotta look at some demographic data, correlate it with some diabetes maybe, and you can determine how stressful being a cop will be in your area.
Diabetes.
The sweetest police officer job I could imagine would be getting paid a lot to be a resource officer at a school, because you don't have to do anything. Even if there's a school shooting, you just be like, yeah, no, man, guy had an AR, couldn't do shit. Fuck them kids. Look, my kids aren't in there.
Fuck them kids.
I just want really dark in my mind, like resource officers. Like I didn't like I fear for I fear for my life. Like I couldn't go against the AR, even though I had an AR in the car, but I was gonna go over there because I haven't done like running in a while. And then like the reporter is like, well, you had 2 kids in there. You did have 2 kids. I'm like, yeah, they were my stepkids with like my wife, but I'm like, I didn't really like them, so.
They're fine, by the way. They're fine, but like
Max was fucking dying over there. Could you imagine? Like he's like, these are my stepkids though. So I'm like, I didn't really have a thing for that.
I was hoping to get the fresh slate. This was God's way,
Yeah. Now I got my baby mama with no babies, all of myself, and I'm gonna get I'm close to retirement, so I'm just gonna take some vacation, get that pension, and fuck off somewhere. That's like the fucking Parkland.
Dude, I remember my high school, the school like resource officer was like super chill, except for the fact that he like really, really liked to hang out with the young, like popular cheerleader squad.
Oh, of course.
And everybody's like, it's just strange. And then as a joke, one of my friends Molotov cocktailed his car and it blew up.
Just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, dude.
It's like a pound of C4 underneath the car. It's a prank, bro.
That was an exciting day.
Huh.
Anyways, probably TMI, but yeah, no, it was cushy. The worst interaction I had with him is that I got to borrow my brother's SX4 hot hatch. It's like 200 horsepower, just little fucking short 2-door little car. I borrowed it for a week, and I did fucking donuts in the parking lot, and because it was the closest parking lot to do donuts
Nice.
in, and he's like, just don't do that, and I was like, okay, fine.
Or I can, and you let me. It's like, how about that? How's that sound? Oh my god. I was like, God, I can't imagine being a cop. I was like, I was like these people like talk about police officers like, just like they're putting their lives on the line every day. I'm like, no, they're fucking
they're
not. Like, I know we talked about this before. It's
No,
like
truck drivers are,
Truck
firefighter,
drivers are.
yeah, loggers are. What
Taco
are
Bell
they called? Loggers?
employees, Waffle House employees.
Waffle House employees are the fucking backbone of this society.
they really are.
Everything. Listen, if you're a liberal or a progressive watching this show for the first time, everything you think about black trans breast milk
What?
is
What?
what Waffle House employees actually do for America. Okay.
Ben just had that Waffle House background ready to go on his video.
So
That's cool.
you can search different GIFs to like use as backgrounds. Unfortunately, it puts them in reverse. Like it's.
Well, is this a nitro benefit or is this
I have
stock?
no
Nitro
idea.
benefit.
Oh,
It's a Nitro benefit.
All right.
Yeah.
Whoops. Oh no, I've been outed.
I'm Nitro too, so it's fine. Because I forgot to like cancel the trial, so now I've got it for a year. So yay for me.
Nice.
Is it $99 for the year or what?
I think it's $99 for a year. Pretty sure.
Okay, so it's cheaper than Spotify, which I justify somehow. So
I just do
think about it.
Pandora. That's where it goes. Like Chase, truckers put their lives in danger every day by smoking meth and driving poorly. Amen. They're the real
well,
heroes.
shit. Like, and they got to deal with the lot lizards too,
Yeah,
right?
man. Lot lizards are no
Right.
joke.
It's not just the short-term injury, right? We're not talking about short-term disability. We're talking about long-term disability when you get into the syphilis and everything. So
No,
yeah.
never had an STD in my life. So
Mm.
that's what I do. I'm surprised, but never had. I'm good. There were some questionables.
It happens.
Okay.
It happens.
What were some other things we were thinking about besides becoming infiltrating systems that we hate?
Oh.
I don't know, man.
There's Ukraine being cops, Bud Light. There's the banking crisis. Oh, we didn't really finish our thoughts on the banking.
Oh,
crisis.
so what I was gonna say basically is like everybody who's got student loans is gonna have to start paying shit back like sometime like later in the year. And right now, the only thing keeping the economy going is credit. Like the amount of credit that's been used in like the last 2 years is skyrocketed. And like once people's loans start like coming due, and like if they just don't pay it because they haven't for like the past 2 or 3 years, which who the fuck wants to start paying that again? So all of a sudden they're not going to have access to all that credit anymore because their scores are going to fucking tank, and then it will be interesting.
Yeah, if you're like on the fence right now about like buying a car or something like that, imagine in the 6 months from now or 5 months from now? I think it's August,
coming
right?
up. No, it's less than that. For the repayment?
Yeah, for the
like May or June.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I think
That
May
soon?
or June sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, let's look this up because
No, I looked it up earlier.
this is
It's
good
earliest
market
May.
info.
Well, it depends on, because I think they're waiting on the Supreme Court case, which could be decided as early as May or as late as June. So that's gonna like for the repayments, like the forgiveness and all that shit. And I'm pretty sure that Biden extended the pause until like May or June. I had to like that's what I had to check.
I thought it was paused until this fall. But the COVID officially ended today, by the way.
For the
federal
third time.
emergency.
For the third time.
Well, the federal emergency, didn't it? Like I thought, like this is
Oh,
the
no, it did.
actual like
Yeah.
original.
The federal emergency, that one ended. He signed it yesterday, I think, and like today it took effect.
Okay, so here's what I'm reading. The student loan payment pause is extended until the U.S. Department of Education is permitted to implement debt relief program or the litigation is resolved. Payments will restart in 60 days after that date. If the debt relief program has not been implemented and litigation has not been resolved by June 30th of 2023, payments will resume 60 days after that. We will notify borrowers before payments restart. So what's June 30th plus 60 days? It's August.
August. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't try to like woman this around to making it you right. No, that wasn't it.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking with you. Please let me be a dick for a second.
Just because he's got long hair? Like, geez, man, that's racist.
Yeah. It's
I could
racist
shave
against
beard
Lana.
and we can see how sloppy I can get. I don't know.
You're no Yimmer, man. Don't even try. Don't even try with that. Play. Because I got to, like, come on over, bro.
Ooh.
Let's go. Let's get it done. Get it done. I'm pointing to my bed right now for people not viewing what's going on.
How many kids were sired on that bed? All 4?
0.
Oh.
This is a guest bed.
Okay, wait, is it weird? My girlfriend's sister just got married a few months ago. And her boyfriend / husband now, her husband has kept or was given and has kept and has been sleeping on his parents' bed since he moved out of his parents' house.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And they share this bed together.
How many nuts were dropped in that?
A lineage of nuts.
Is it strange? I think it's strange, personally.
It is strange because, well, how long did the parents have the bed? And what age?
Like decade.
Right? Because
I think it was their bed when he was born.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's no.
No,
that's gonna be no for me, dog.
Not. No, absolutely.
First of all, how is that mattress still like keeping up?
It's probably not.
They don't make them like they used to. You know what I mean?
Ugh.
Anyways,
it's like so fucking gross.
Ugh.
No, I bought. Well, I like to mess with my wife because I bought a king size bed before, like way before me and her even got together. Because I just like sprawling out, right?
Word.
King size bed, just sprawling the fuck out of it. You know, when I first bought it, people were like, "Why are you buying such a big bed? You don't need that." I'm like, "It's for all the women I won't be laying." Right? Because I'm like, I didn't go out or whatever. I'm like, I just like to fucking sprawl, have all this room.
Mm.
And then eventually, like we talked about this already. Like she had wanted to get away from her parents, and she just moved out here. It was my roommate for a bit, and then one thing led to another. We have a child army, but I keep fucking with her. Like, that's all part of the plan.
Have you found any silver seams near you or something like that?
Silver what?
Seams of silver?
No, why? I don't get.
Oh, you could put them to work in the mines. There's
no.
Small, they dig a smaller
get
tunnel.
Gold or don't come home. Come home when you find some gold.
Okay.
But like, I keep joking with her. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole reason I got the king size bed, because I knew you and me would get together. She's like, don't say that. That's messed up. Like, because like I bought it like it was like a year or so before we even started talking, right? Like, because I was like, I just knew. I knew of you, and I was gonna. This is the plan. And then she ends up admitting to me one night. She was like, "Yeah, the whole reason I moved, I moved, like one of the major reason I moved out was I was hoping we were gonna get together." I was like, "Wait, so you can plan that, but me buying the king size mattress for us is a problem?" She's like, "Stop fucking with me." I'm like, "Am I though?"
Wait, so you knew each other and you moved in together before you started dating?
No, I already had a house out here. Like, she moved from another state out here. Because like she was living with her parents, and she was like, it was like she wasn't having a good time out there. There's like, she was like, I just wanted to get the fuck away.
Were you dating
scenery.
at that point, or
No, we started dating 2 months after she
Okay.
moved here.
So that was the first part of the question. You knew each other before you started dating.
Yes.
Okay.
I
And
knew of
then
her for like years because she's like my friend's sister.
okay. And so then subsequently after living together,
Yeah.
you started dating.
Yes, I put the king size bed that I bought for this to use.
Uh-huh.
Because I had the room. I had the room and I knew it was going to happen because I'm a psychic. My consciousness, I realized was linked with everybody else's, and I knew it was going to happen.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's the ego talking. I don't know what's going on. Let's drink more. But yeah, so it was just funny. I like to fuck with her. Like, I'm like, yeah, but I bought this bed because I knew we'd get together. And then she just like, what the fuck? She's like, well, I was hoping we were gonna get together. I'm like, well, so you moved out here for that? Like, all right. Well, you moved out for the lamest fucking dude. How dare you? I remember one night I was drinking and shit, and I was like, I think it was that Specker quiz, that like to figure out if you're an anarchist or whatever, like the most in-depth quiz there is on a political compass. Ben muted himself for some reason. I don't know what's going on over there.
I had to clear my throat. Was being polite.
Okay, thank you. Now do it every time you breathe. I'm just kidding. So there was, and then my wife's texting me now. Yep, we'll do. So I don't know what to say anymore. Fuck. Whatever. I don't fucking care. I lost my train of thought because I'm based like that.
Mm.
But anyways, moving on. No, because my wife texted me and my whole fucking my mind went other places, which is a typical problem I have. Or I don't know if I got ADHD or something. I might. I'm not gonna take pills for it. Oh, speaking of pills and shit, that post I made saying guns aren't the problem, SSRIs are. And speaking of HDTH, I don't know if I'm just kidding. No, someone messaged me like with an like anonymous like ask or whatever, and they're like, unironically yes. And I'm reading this and I'm like, well, I wasn't being ironic. I was serious because I wanted to do something where I compared the rate of SSRIs and like all that shit with people. But I don't know if this is all true. I'm assuming it's true that what this person sent me. But I'm gonna read it for you guys. He's like, unironically, yes. I was briefly put on SSRIs several years ago, and I 100% believe they're responsible for turning people into mass shooters. They had originally tried to put me on Adderall, but I was smart enough to tell them to go pound sand. Not becoming an amphetamine addict, I was not yet aware of what SSRIs did to people, however. They put me on 2 different SSRIs, and the second one made me want to hurt people every time it started to wear off. Like, I could tell because it always happened around the same time every day. I would get unreasonably aggressive towards everyone around me and wanted to cause them pain, emotional, physical, didn't matter to me. I went through that for about a month before I put my foot down and refused to take any more drugs in a moment of lucidity. It's like, I don't know if SSRIs would have made me a killer, but I can easily see how they would do that to someone more susceptible to that effect. It's like, to this day, I refuse to take any kind of mind-altering substance, not even coffee. The fear of what I came so close to becoming keeps me well away from anything that could lower inhibitions. The drug-pushing pharma companies and their sweater vest-wearing foot soldiers have the blood of thousands on their hands, and and in a just world, they'd be dragged onto the street and shot. I'm like, proud of you. Like, I didn't know how to respond to that.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
I just wanted to like just post that without a comment, but Tumblr's stupid and was like, you gotta put something in there. I'm like, I'm proud of you, dude. Like, proud of you. That's great.
Yeah,
like, it's awesome that you
gold
you're
star.
like,
That's what I want to put there.
That's the thing. Like, it's like the whole fucking drug shit. It's like,
no, I think if you look at the number or the percent of people who own guns versus percent of people who go on to shoot somebody versus the percent of people who take SSRIs and go on to shoot somebody, you will find a much stronger correlation
Yeah, because that's what I do is look at charts of like the increased like anti-depressants SSRIs in the country, and then like the rise of school shootings and shit. And then Chase has reminded me that I was talking about the political compass test with my wife, which was like I was drunk, and I was like asking her questions while we were dating, and I was like I'm gonna try to figure out where you are. I'm like I'm pretty sure you're like a right libertarian, right? And I'm asking her questions, and she's like so like disconnected from everything political. Like almost every question I was asking her, she was like, "I don't like what. So what does that even mean?" Right?
Right.
And
no, that's a good thing.
Me being an asshole, I was like, "How the fuck do you not know what that means?" I'm like, "Are you fucking stupid?" And she was like, "They're crying." She's like, "You're really mean right now." I'm like, "Fine, we won't fucking take the test." We never took it again. But I'm like, no. I was like, next day I apologized to her because I was like, "I am so sorry." I'm like, in my mindset, like I just figured like everyone should know.
I'm trying to imagine how blessed the people are, and like I don't know if Flo's like this, but the people who just like don't pay attention to political issues, like it doesn't affect them, they don't care about them, they don't think about them, because like when Matt and I went on with Flo, like we had like an agenda, we were going to talk about news and stuff like that, and Flo's just like, listen, I empathize with Hitler. And
that was very based.
That was based. Yes, that was.
And we were just like absorbing it because it was just like, yes, we totally agree. Like what we would be different people in different situations, and obviously have different input and everything like that. But I feel like we're a certain strand of person that's like just addicted to being informed, feeling that we like this is my version of anxiety management, is to like always read the news and stuff like that, and like be on top of things. And I think it pays off because like I know when interest rates should be rising. I know when like asset prices are rising. I'm anticipating things. It's what my brain does instead of thinking about how fucking like jaguars are gonna stalk me in the woods or some shit like that. Like it's a healthy response to the new version of what is threatening in our world, to be up on current events all the time. But I also envy the people who are just living life, going through the world, being like, oh, I think this would be a good decision at this time.
Well, the other thing too is like she has pretty much no social media presence. She just doesn't really use it. So like she'll occasionally watch stuff.
Again, I envy that.
She'll occasionally watch stuff on YouTube, but outside of that, she just doesn't like. As I have put it many times throughout the years, like it's kind of a button you press that makes you angry, and like she just doesn't press the button. That's basically it.
No, that's fair. I mean, I really think like, what would my life be like if I all I did was watch YouTubes about fucking like homesteading and off the grid living, which is like 50% of what I watch. The other like 25% I watch is like
those numbers up.
Is like GunTuber stuff.
The rally race thing.
Say what?
What? Nothing, man. Go on. I was like, you're like the other 50% of the time is you like trying to figure out how to get better at that rally racing game. Just kidding.
I don't mean to brag, but I am in the top 100 of certain divisions of that game.
I know. I saw you were pretty good, except for that one race. The other ones were good.
But yeah. The like I'm getting to the point where like I should record some videos of me doing some certain ones. But anyways, no, like I think like people should enjoy like real life things, right? Like just enjoying anger about politics all the time is it's kind of consuming in a bad way, right? Like I have been spending the last 2 days dressing like redoing doing a lawn renovation is I guess what people call it, and like raking and tilling and seeding and over or like amending the soil and then tamping and watering and all this shit. And I like watched a ton of YouTube about this over the last year basically. and like, you know what? Like my crops are watered. It feels there's something you cannot achieve any other way than like growing shit out of the earth as a human. We've evolved for 10,000 years since the invention of agriculture to feel good when shit grows when we want it to grow, right?
Yeah.
That's dope with me and Hitman.
Yeah, every person watching this right now should like you need to engage. We've talked about this before. You need to engage in gardening, in animal husbandry, maybe not the animal husbandry, but like the livestock management. You like if you can have chickens, have chickens. If you can have bathtub carp, get some bathtub carp. Okay. If you can grow like a garden bed in your backyard, get some lettuce or like some tomatoes or
become an
maybe
indoor
some
quail
peppers.
farmer, whatever you need to do. Like
whatever you need to do. Or a garbage bin potato farmer. Okay. Do it right now.
do it.
Because you will feel nothing. There's no high that is higher than pulling out 50 pounds of potatoes out of a plastic garbage bin that you put some potatoes in last year and you've just been pouring water over a couple times a week for the last 6 months. There's no high higher than that.
Every time I was like, when you said pulling out, I was like, yeah, there's no better peeling than pulling out, bro.
You don't pull out. What are you talking about?
I don't.
No.
Clearly,
that's not the best feeling.
Yeah, it's good.
Potatoes, yes. Other
Yeah,
things,
potatoes, no.
Other things, not so much. Just raw dog, fucking go balls deep. There. Man, me not eating dinner and drinking is fantastic.
Wonderful. It's gonna be great.
So, the banking crisis. We're looking at loan repayments resuming in sometime in August, right?
Mhm.
And so, I know, unfortunately, I know of certain people who have large student payments and also have multi like $300, $400, $500, maybe even more car loan payments that they're working on right now. Okay. So if you're looking for a used car, say what?
I said I love not having a car payment. It's such a great feeling.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna pay off my car in 3 months.
Mazel tov.
Maybe even less. I could pay it off in 2 months or something like that. Anyways, no, if you're looking for a used car, there's going to be a glut of used cars in August of this year. Okay. Because all those people who are expanding their credit and purchasing brand new cars in the last 2-3 years since COVID and the student loan suspensions, they're going to find suddenly that they need to own much cheaper cars. Same goes for real estate agents, right? Like real estate agents already got fucking fleeced, right? So,
I wouldn't say they're without blame, to be honest. Like,
oh, real estate. Whoa, wait, who?
Real estate
the
agents.
Student loan people or real estate agents?
No. Student loan people, like people who took out student loans. No, I meant like real estate agents getting fleeced in the housing market, being shitty is kind of their own fault.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. The student loan thing, it kind of depends, right? Like, I think, the cases of people who owe like $200,000 on their pottery degree.
Yeah. Sorry, that's natural selection.
I don't know how to feel sorry for you. It's not in my genes. Same with and I've been on a kick about this lately. I find it really hard to feel bad for old people who are poor.
Yeah.
Understandable. Did you guys see that one post I made like a couple of weeks ago about some old dude who like in the 70s took out like $5,000 in student loans?
Yes.
And just hasn't been able to pay it back. And it's just like, bro, are you paying like $20 a month? Like, even at that.
Well, you read the
rate,
story on that, right?
I read part of it. Like he just
No, basically he took out a loan and thought for some reason that it was either like on like it was taken care of or something. Like he completely basically forgot about it and left it alone. And then years later, he found out it was just accruing interest and shit, missed payments, and that was the problem. So it was his own fucking lack of checking up on it, because it was only like it was like $5,000 or something.
Yeah, like how do you not know, like what? I don't understand how you not know you have.
No, I mean, okay, I made that post about the 62-year-old guy in West Virginia on disability waiting 9 hours in line for free food given out by government slaves. And I'm just like I posted stats about fucking like what the S&P was worth and what homes were worth when this person was 20 years old. And I'm like, I don't feel fucking bad for you. I'm sorry. You're just literally stupid.
You should have went to a trade school.
There's no way that you were moderately smart in life and you end up being poor after the last 50 years in America. Frankly, if you are getting towards 60 or 65, you had the biggest free ride in history when it comes to real estate, when it comes to student loan cost, when it comes to cars, everything inflation wise. You had the biggest free ride in history. You could have worked a minimum wage job the entire time and you would be a millionaire today if you had just managed your money moderately competently. Being somebody
when
who's
we say old
60
people,
to
how old
65.
we talking? 60, 65-year-olds right now?
Boomers who are retiring today, like 60 to 65.
Oh well,
70
no.
years old.
Part of the weird thing. I mean, granted, house prices were lower, in like the 80s, right? Like so, but like,
yeah, I know interest rates were ridiculous back then.
Yeah, they're like 16%. Like it was fucking insane. Absolutely insane. But it was one of those things like if I mean obviously like property taxes are lower and shit and people are making, whatever, like you should be saving your money, but I think like the same thing, it's like I feel like the government is just constantly progressively getting better at extracting more of your wealth so you can't retire. But for the boomers though, but like they did have it way easy, like a nice ass house for like $100,000 at the time, where that was like a really good price for a good ass fucking house, and you still have fucking problems and shit. Like
there are all of these boomers in Utah who own these houses, and they get all their basements finished with like their own separate bedroom, bathroom, and kitchens. So you can get like you used to be able to get a nice 2-bedroom apartment in a basement for like $800. Now they're all charging like $1,600 to live in a fucking basement. And surprisingly, they don't rent that well.
Yeah, the shelter prices are going to adjust severely in the next few years. What matters, I think, to millennials is the actual affordability, which is to say like the month-to-month payment of those shelters. And so when we look at like I don't think those 2-bedroom basement apartments or garden level apartments are going to be $800 again. I think they're going to be $1,200 or $1,100 maybe if they're not finished as nicely in Utah, which is like is especially if you're talking about like your area where it's close to ski resorts and shit like that.
Yeah, that's
and so yeah, the shelter inflation's still going to be like 30% over what it was before, and like the home prices, yeah, they'll adjust down, where maybe you lose 30 or 40% of value, but the Fed rate and the mortgage rate is going to be 6 or 7%. And so affordability wise, it's the same monthly payment as somebody who was buying it high and paying lower interest maybe a year or two ago or something like that. Of
You
course.
just gotta do what I'm gonna be doing, right? Like just have a father, like have your parents or whatever, just cover the cost of a house for you, so you don't have to pay interest rates. Like it's really simple. Like stop being poor. Could you imagine?
I mean,
in a real way,
I brought that up last week. Ben, did you catch that shit? Did you listen to last week's episode?
I did not. No.
No, I brought up a story where I joked with my wife. I was like, I don't want to be paying these fucking high interest rates. I'm like, we should just fucking hit up your parents and like, hey, just buy us a house and we'll pay you interest free. And she's like, oh no, they already said they do that. And I was like, word? I was like, I was joking, but if it's like, hello.
Then fuck.
I'm like, I'll take it. Fuck
secure
that.
the bag.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, if needing to move, like I can't imagine, like I have right now what's called silver handcuffs, which is to say, like
cop.
What?
You're like, what's just to say cop? Anyways, continue.
Silver handcuffs is to say that like I have such a sweet deal on my house that even though I could sell my house for way more than I bought it for, I'd still be probably paying more to live somewhere else, even a smaller place, at the end of the day, because of the rise in prices and interest rates.
Oh, my brother, he is going to renovate his house, like do an addition on his house, because he did the math. He's like, I think it's gonna be like 200,000 for the addition on his house. I'm like, dude, it's fucking crazy. I'm like, dude, just fucking sell your house and buy a new one. He's like, no, the problem is, he's like, with the interest rates and how the house prices are, it's cheaper for me to literally spend $200,000 to do an addition to my house than to buy a new one and deal with the interest rate over time for purchasing a new house.
Wow.
Which is fucking insane to me. Because I was like, at first I'm like, I don't know fucking cost of addition. I was like, it could be like 20 grand or something for what they want to do. But apparently it's like $200,000 for fucking what they want.
That still seems like a lot.
Yeah,
it seems like a shitload. But it's also like, well, it's, it's like Chicago suburbs.
Oh,
so maybe it's not that high. So yeah, think about it. I don't fucking know.
Not a lot of folks going to trade schools in those areas. High diabetes rate.
Yep, high diabetes rate.
Man.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, I like Chase. Chase was like, I hope Matt's in-laws buy them a house and then sell it to buy themselves a condo in Palm Beach. Well, no, they would actually just give me the money to buy the house, and it would be me and my wife's name. So we won't have that problem. You don't have to worry about me, because I'm not stupid. I'm an ANCAP. Anarcho-capitalists know how to do contracts. If I would rather pay a fucking 7% interest rate on a mortgage for 15-year would be cheaper. Anyways,
so you know about like in evolution, and so maybe this will upset our creationist fundamentalist Christian audience, but in real life, evolution, there's bottlenecks in selection. Okay, that is to say that there's an environmental change or there's some other sort of pressure on the population that selects for a certain trait. And so as a result, there is a selection, and only those who survive this certain selection go through to the other side. And so those people who read contracts are going to be, or whatever version of like fucking autism or whatever it is are going to be the people who prosper on the far side of this bottleneck in human evolution. Because right, like we know, fertility rates are plummeting across the Western world, And so in 10, 20 years, we're going to see the kids of all the people who have had kids. And those are the people who know how to survive through a contract capitalist system where they can read through all this shit and they can also make predictions and have anxiety about instead of jaguars stalking us in the forest, but like us having federal or government run bank crises and shit like that.
Yeah.
Same as my prediction that leftists need state-run education because they can't reproduce on their own. They need to indoctrinate your children. Only right-wing people at this point have children, and in a fundamental sense. Even like people who I know who would personally consider themselves Democrats and liberals are fundamentally right-wing people compared to what is the mainstream Democrat today.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's a good spot to wrap it up. Maybe, perhaps, Benjamin Linus.
It sounds pretty good to me, man. I mean, I think we covered everything.
August. All right, 5 months from now, guys. Fire sale on used cars, possibly homes. Look for it to start happening.
Perfect.
So that's
our
prediction.
Before we check out, Lauren said that's blatantly false, though. Look at how many kids the average black woman has, despite a 50% abortion rate.
You're getting me to look up a statistic that.
Yeah. Despite. I was kidding. No, we'll touch on that later. Just a little food for thought.
Maybe that's the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll save that for June.
The last episode.
That'll be our Juneteenth episode.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I guess it's time to actually bring it to a close. So, what do we always close with?
Taxation is theft.